I'm snacking on liver pate.
Hello, it is Anika and Isaiah who is chewing
Pate, I'll just say
liver pate. And clearly, I just, sometimes it has the chewy pieces there and he's chewing on it. Okay, but whatever. Right, so we just got back from the dentist probably like an hour ago. And I was just so grateful because none of them had a
cavity.
Okay, so Isaiah left because he was smacking in my ear. Anyway, what I wanted to say was that I was really grateful because no one had cavities. And for me, I really feel like a huge part of that has to do with really a great reduction in sugar. So that was like, yeah. So it's just encouraging on this journey when you have things like this happen to just affirm that, hey, you know what, you're on the right track. And it's not that you don't necessarily, you're not, it's not that I'm not necessarily convinced. It's just always good to get confirmation. So that's pretty exciting. So we came home and 2 of the 6 ended up eating some of the liver pate that I made, which was actually really, really yummy. And it's interesting because they kind of go back and forth. I think I was cooking it too often, and while they used to really enjoy it, I noticed that when I was doing it too many times during the week, it was like they were like, ugh, okay, I'm good. And I kind of gave it a break for a little while, and it's like today, the 2 that had it, they couldn't have enough. So it's just very interesting to see how our palate works. So anyway, I was just really excited. And I also wanted to share another quick update that has been really encouraging. As most of you know, Elijah had to go back to take an insulin. And, it's been just a process trying to figure out the proper dosing and all of that. But feel good knowing that we've kind of landed somewhere for now that's been working really well, where he really only has to take just a few units of the long-lasting insulin in the morning, and he doesn't have to take it before meals for the most part. So I'm really just grateful for that, and just kind of figuring it all out. Like I said, we kind of had to play around with it, but just feeling grateful right now that we've landed in a good place, and we've been having good results. So while things are going well, we did have a little mishap a few days ago, and while it was really scary for him, I think that it was a good lesson. And before I sound like the me mom, let me explain what happened. He ended up eating something that he should not have eaten, and he got a hold of it, and I won't even talk about how it got here, but it did, and he ate it, and he snuck and he ate it. He gave into the temptation, and he was like just such a nervous wreck for like a full day because he saw how his levels just like skyrocketed. He hadn't seen those numbers. They went really high 100s and even tipped over into the 200s. And we were trying to give him insulin. It was just a disastrous day. Like, we would give him the insulin at different points, and then it would just go low, that he had to have some of the glucose tablets to bring it back. It was just a mess. It really was. And even though it was not the best experience, I think it was good, because I think for him, it helped him to see that whatever sacrifice, right, that I'm making right now at this point, or for the rest of my life, if he chooses to continue this way of eating, it's well worth it, because he's just seeing. And I was just explaining to him, I said, listen, if you were to just eat a diet that the doctors are prescribing, this would be your reality every day, because it's just so hard to really, meet the peaks and all of that with the insulin and to calculate it all correctly. And I think it was just such an eye opener for him. And like I said, it wasn't the best experience, but I think sometimes those things are necessary to just kind of remind you of why you're doing what you're doing. And one of the things that I really want him to get on this journey, because it's his journey more than it's mine, right? Because it's his body. And at some point in time, God willing, he's going to grow up and he's going to move out. So I feel like if this thing is solidified at a young age, it will make it easier as, you know, he gets older to stick to it as he gets these lessons. So, definitely a lot coming out of this from the parenting standpoint, right? And I feel like some of the lessons that we're learning in this process, it goes so beyond diabetes. It's just, my husband and I were talking about it, and I'm just realizing that these are just life lessons, period. And I feel like we all go through some type of difficulties, right? Your difficulty may not be mine, but those difficulties actually teach a bigger lesson if we are mindful to tune in. And I feel like so many of the lessons that he's learning now, they are, if he gets it and applies it to other areas of his life, that, listen, there's going to be success there. So even in the negative, you can see so much good coming from it. Like the lessons of just self-discipline. You have to be disciplined to really follow this way of eating and not just be impulsive and giving in to what you want. And again, this is a lesson that if he applies across the board, not just concerning his diet, oh my goodness, like game changer, like on so many levels. So I could go on, but there's so many messages going off in my head as I watch this process unfold. So anyway, I just wanted to jump on again to just give this quick update about the dentist and also what's going on over here with Elijah. All right, you be blessed.